There's a lot of complexities to this life. There's the yin and there's the yang. There's a lot of mysteries, a lot of things that we can't really know for certain. But one of the best ways to find out is to experience them. And when it comes to dreaming, sometimes it's hard to remember exactly what those experiences are. But who's to say we can't train ourselves? Who's to say that there weren't those before us who mastered the art of walking through dreams and experiencing things of the other world and bringing back those experiences and actually learning from them? It's something that people before us did nonchalantly, and somehow we've managed to forget all about it. So what does it take to become conscious within our own dreams? There's a lot of ways to get started, and to say the least, it doesn't hurt to find out.
The first thing we'll do is start off by asking the question then, what is astral projection? The human being, you sitting in that chair right now, consists of more than a simple physical body.
A lot of people are surprised to discover that they're multidimensional beings. They exist at many different levels. We're used to the three dimensions around us, length, width, and height, and of course there's the fourth dimension, time, which streams through, but it doesn't end there. There's dimensions that exist a lot higher than that. And many people are curious about investigating these dimensions, which is really what astral projection and lucid dreaming is. Every night when your physical body falls asleep, you go off into the astral. Okay, into a different dimension, into a place that has different laws, things like no gravity, no time, that kind of stuff. All the different dimensions interpenetrate each other. They're all here simultaneously. It's just you're only tuned into the three dimensions, which is all you see. The dream world, dream time, they're all just different descriptions of the astral world, the higher dimensions. Same thing with the concept of the various paradisiacal regions, the heavens. They're all just ways the early people described existence outside of the physical three dimensions that we're accustomed to. Through various practices, meditation, and other techniques, we can learn how to tune in our own receiver to experience the realities of the different dimensions. One of the really important things to understand about the astral is thoughts create. The matter of the astral world, the energy that's there, conforms to thought. So what you think in the astral becomes your reality. You can pass through solid objects and move great distances instantly because of that. So once you're in the astral world, if you wanted to be suddenly at the pyramids of Egypt, it's as easy as fixating your mind on that place and going there instantly. When we talk about lucid dreaming, when we talk about astral projection, we're really talking about the same thing. Lucid dreaming is simply becoming conscious that we're in the astral dimension while we sleep. Astral projection is just the simple act of taking our body, putting it in the right state to allow ourselves to unfold into the astral. Our subconscious mind is projecting all kinds of things onto it, which gives us an opportunity to learn a lot about ourselves, which is one of the reasons why Plato said, a man is known by his dreams. When we're in the astral, there's a lot of lessons that we can learn that are a benefit to our own existence, our own path, our own spiritual development. Basically, we came from a much higher place and find ourselves down here in the physical. The idea being we're supposed to climb that ladder and ascend back to that source from whence we came, gathering knowledge and bringing together all this experience. One of the benefits of working in the astral and being able to communicate with different aspects of ourselves, basically our higher self, is we can learn a lot more about these lessons that we need to learn, and we can start to remove some of these obstacles, some of these ties that keep us bound to this physical world. One of the things that you can do to help you start remembering dreams, which will also help you discern the difference between waking consciousness and dream consciousness, which will trigger that lucid dream state, is begin by writing a dream diary. When you start training yourself to write down your dreams every morning, an interesting thing happens where your brain starts paying more attention to your dreams and you start consciously remembering more of them. You'll be learning to decode your own dreams. You'll be learning the symbolism of your subconscious mind, which becomes a really important tool for learning a lot about yourself. In addition to analyzing our dreams, there's other physical habits that we can do during the day that repeat themselves at night and cause us to become aware that we're dreaming. There's little triggers that we can implant in our subconscious during the day that will repeat themselves at night. So for example, physical habits such as pulling our finger and attempting to stretch it. Sounds pretty corny, but you pull on your physical finger, this is flesh and bone, it doesn't go anywhere.
Okay? Your astral body is made out of different matter. You do this in the astral, your finger becomes long and rubbery. Your hands are all weird and rubbery in the astral because it's not a physical body. It's more of a body of light or energy as opposed to physical matter. So during the day you do this, nothing happens. During the night you do that, your finger goes all weird and you freak out. You're like, what the hell is going on? But that tells you that you're in a different dimension. A lot of times where we're hitting the snooze button in the morning and we're drifting, we've got one foot in the physical, one foot in the astral. We're constantly shifting between those two bodies. That's why one of the easiest times to project can be in the afternoon while we're napping on the couch, or can be in the morning where we're hitting the snooze button.
The astral world is an interesting place, and it's also one of the places that we go when we decease, when we pass on. Part of the experience that we can have in the astral, it also comes as a bit of a shock to people too when they start working in the astral, to discover that they're not alone up there. There are other people up there. When we dream, we go up there so we can see other people in their dream state as they're wandering around the astral. There's other people there astrally projecting that we can communicate with. But another interesting aspect, there's other intelligences that are there as well. Now these intelligences, these entities that reside in the astral, the higher dimensions, these are what the ancient people referred to as angels or gods or goddesses, and became some of the various deities of the world's religions. It's always interesting to give lectures to people, and you can see the light bulbs going off in their eyes when they, I remember that, or that's happened to me, or I've had that experience, or I've felt that before, and then people realize this is just a natural part of being human. It's something that we've been doing for most of our lives. Therefore, it just takes a little bit of extra attention, a little bit of study, and working with some very basic techniques in order to really train ourselves to learn the difference between waking reality and the dream state or the astral state.
The last one I had, usually I just walk around in my house, so I basically became totally captivated by my wall. I was sticking my hand through it, and I could actually feel the texture of the wall interpenetrating my hand. So it was totally wild.
I've done lucid dreaming before, so this stuff isn't new to me. And it's just always great to hear that I'm not the only one doing it. I know it's sort of naive or to think that I would be the only one, but I don't come from a group of friends that openly accepts this sort of behavior. And so to know that it's other people are experiencing the same thing, especially when Lee, you said the effects of transitioning. I'm like, that is everything that isn't happening to me. And I'm just it's so hard to control. It's just ridiculous. But I'm glad that at least is right, and it's not me going crazy. It's reassurance.
I guess one of the interesting parts of being able to experience a multidimensional existence is it brings about, a certain paradigm shift in your consciousness. It really is one of those things, it's one of those experiences where you acknowledge that you are more than a simple human being. You're more than a simple flesh and bone body. And that, of course, brings with it the question of, what is all this around us? So many people become basically distracted by the illusion they see before them. They just become so ingrained in this belief system and this construct that they see around them that they don't know that there's so much more to this. All their existence and reality becomes is the problems, worries, and experiences of day-to-day life. Once we learn to astral project, and once we have some experiences outside of this physical body, it really makes you look at everything in a different light. And the advantages of being a younger person and being able to do that is it would tremendously change the way you looked at life in general. And it's the same way that a lot of people who've had near-death experiences, which is the same thing, an experience in the astral world, they come back and their life has changed. They no longer look at the relationships the same way. They no longer look at the challenges, the obstacles in day-to-day life the same way. So these are some of the benefits we can expect by being able just to verify something as simple as we are so much more than this physical body. And everything you see before us isn't the be-all, end-all of everything. It's such a small portion of a much larger picture. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The rest of it lies below the ocean that's unexplored.
A lot of people will find it pretty difficult to believe this idea that we're interdimensional beings, but once you've kind of had your own experiences, whether it be through lucid dreaming or astral projection, it doesn't necessarily make things scarier or more complex. If anything, it just starts to put some of the pieces together, because this world is just one massive, complex mystery. But one of the best ways to understand it is to experience it for yourself. And what better way to do that than through your own dreams, through your own experiences.